Yeah, it's overplayed, especially it's LeBron's game.
Yeah, well, it's always fucking 15 minutes later. Like we are 2 hours later, 3 hours later than we were gonna be. Don't worry, folks.
Yeah.
Ernest are here eventually. Do our review of Super Mario Brothers. Ernest, it's been a while since me and you have been able to do a show together.
It's true.
This,
The OGs of BCMG have not been on the same screen in quite a bit.
yeah, this is kind of like a reunion almost. It's oh yeah, as I said, we're here to talk about the Super Mario Brothers. Welcome to another episode of Blue Collar Cantina. We are a few weeks late on reviewing this. It's been out for a few weeks, meaning anyone you've all seen it by now, right? We don't really need to worry about the spoilers. I guess that's the positive of this. Anyways, the movie's doing fantastic. They're now at 1.048 billion.
Wow.
I think it's that I think I have it was like the 42nd highest grossing movie of all time right now, which it was like one like the Harry Potters was right around there, and it was like one of the last ones. So like that was like part 7 or something. This is their first go, because we're gonna pretend that the one with John Leguizamo that didn't happen. The old Super Mario Brothers movie, no.
Although it is referenced a little bit.
It is referenced. It is referenced. But now that we have this one, we can kind of just pretend that one isn't really there.
Deal.
Yeah. All right. As long as we're all on the same page. Anyway, to set this, I absolutely loved this movie. This was, yeah. I mean, listen. I know I'm a 30-year-old man. I went to go see a Super Mario Brothers movie in a 21 plus only seating section, high as a kite by myself on a Saturday night. I don't care if you tell me that this is a kids movie. I do not believe you, because this movie was written for me. That's sure. Maybe it was a kids movie. Yeah, it's a kids movie for kids fucking born 30 years ago. It was made for the kid in me. I don't care about your kids. Really, the whole thing was enjoyable. I'll start off Chris Pratt's accent or lack thereof. When the first trailers came out, everyone thought it was going to be a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Don't notice it.
Not at all.
No, not at all. I wouldn't say Chris Pratt is like amazing as voicing Mario. He does his part. He's not bad at it. That's other than that, though, the rest of the castings. What are you saying?
I liked it. I actually like Chris Pratt's voice. I like the Wahoo. Wahoo! I thought it was great. I thought it was catchy.
His Wahoo was actually very good. That's a good point.
Yeah, and my daughter's saying it now. So my daughter is like going around the house when she does something great. She's like, "Wahoo!" Like she does it her own way. It caught on. That was the first time she ever heard it. So
awesome.
It did its job. Like my 2.5-year-old is like absolutely Mario right now. Like we're going again to see it on Tuesday.
I honestly, I would probably go see this in theaters again. I've been trying to tell my mom since I've gone to see it that she should probably check it out and see if she wants to get it for the daycare kids. And she's like, no, I mean, I don't know. I never played any of those video games. I don't know anything about Mario. I'm like, I just have a feeling that the kids are gonna like it, and like you're probably gonna enjoy it because it's just I mean, yeah, sure, it was a hell of a lot of fun for us, but like you said, your daughter had never seen it. She had a great time. It's a fun movie. because it's obviously got great source material to go off of.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Um,
No. What I like about it.
one thing I will say,
Go ahead.
what you saying? Go ahead.
What I like about it the most is just like the ability to connect across multiple generations, and you not really even having to know all the Easter eggs to enjoy it. It was actually just a good
Yeah,
movie. Like
yeah, it
we
really.
we should do like a rating, like just the movie and then nostalgia and the movie, because I don't think we can give it a rating by itself.
It's actually not even a bad idea. Another thing I will say I was concerned about before seeing this was there's so much in there. We're getting our first Mario movie, our first real Mario movie. Yeah, we're getting Bowser, and we're getting Princess Peach, we're getting Luigi, and then we're getting Donkey Kong, and I'm like, hey, the cards is this going to be too much? And it which was a short movie too, by the way. This was
an hour and a half.
It runs like an hour and a half. A very good use of its runtime. I was worried about the runtime and how much I'd seen in the trailers, but this didn't feel bloated. None of it felt forced in there. It ran smoothly, kept you entertained for the entire time. I mean, at least it kept me entertained the entire time.
Yeah, I feel like there was some stuff I would have loved to see in the movie that didn't make it, and maybe we can talk about that in a little bit. But for the most part, I mean, the movie grabbed me. Like I never was not interested in what was happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack Black to me absolutely steals the show as Bowser. That was watching the movie and hearing his voice as Bowser. This was not just an acting job for Jack Black. This was a labor of love. This man grew up on Mario. He was absolutely in love with this, and you can tell. And I'd say the same goes for Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Absolutely in love with the opportunity to be playing that character, and it wasn't. I felt this. I feel the same way sometimes. Like Top Gun Maverick, I felt the same way. These actors weren't just doing an acting job. They loved their source material. They were really putting in their best stuff. Jack Black fucking killed it. Absolutely fucking top of the line. You can tell me Chris Pratt is the star of the movie all you want. No, it's Jack Black.
There's actually some lore of like Bowser and Princess Peach having like a romantic like involvement. That's why she keeps continuing getting captured, because she actually wants to be with him. And that's why she continues to be the damsel. And I thought maybe they might go that way. Like there was gonna be like a love story. So when Bowser was like, I'm going to propose and this is gonna be my wife and we're gonna roll the, I was like, they're actually gonna go with it. Like there might be, and then when she turned down, I was like, oh man, it's not going that direction. But yeah, that I actually enjoy the love interest. I mean, why keep capturing her, right? You got to give it a reason. So
yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
So here's my question to you, since we're on the Jack Black topic. Okay, I'm gonna give you a list of movies, and you got to tell me it's higher or lower of Jack Black performances.
Oh God.
Okay. All right. I know a couple of these are gonna be super easy, so I'll just start off with the easy ones. School of Rock.
This is lower than School of Rock.
Yeah.
School of Rock
okay. Just Nacho Libre.
Higher.
You have this higher than Nacho Libre.
Not a big Nacho Libre fan.
No, I am. So I actually have it lower than Nacho Libre. So those are my two easy ones for you. It gets kind of rough here. I get kind of like, what do I want to do with it at this point? Tropic Thunder.
Ooh. Oh, man.
I know. It gets 50-50 for me right here.
Well, there's like two parts of there's two sides of me right there. There's that like fucked up side of me that like actually totally understands the role that Jack Black was going for on Tropic Thunder. like probably more than any of you should. And then there's the part of me that's just like, dude, this dude is the man as Bowser. I don't
Yeah.
know. Really, I don't know, man.
And for those people, but most people are gonna be like, okay, it's animated compared to real life. But I'm just thinking about roles he had to like fit himself into, right? Because I'm not gonna list out a few that I really am not considering, like Jumanji, King Kong, Goosebumps. Not even. I'm gonna leave those out for this. The only other one that
yeah.
the only other two I really wanted to talk about was Tenacious D, which is tough.
Uh,
I have it lower than Tenacious D just because he was really kind of the guy there, but it's
yeah.
tough, right? And then Kung
My
Fu
only thing
Panda.
with Tenacious D is that was he really playing a character? Or is he really just playing Jack Black?
That's true. That's true. That is true. Kung Fu Panda is the only one I really kind of put it at par with because they're both animated. If you want to take a stab with that,
I
Kung
have
Fu
not
Panda's
seen Kung Fu Panda.
any of them.
I have never seen a Kung Fu Panda movie.
Oh, you know what? You need to watch the Kung Fu Panda series this week, and we need to do another review show on it. Like that.
Jeez,
That's like hands down. Like
I don't know where I'm gonna fit that into my schedule, but all
you would absolutely love
right.
the Kung Fu Panda movies. Like I think you would be a sucker for it.
All right. I guess I got homework. I gotta watch all the Kung Fu Panda movies within a week for Ernest now, I guess.
You do. You do.
So now this is what I'll be doing in my car, I guess, this week at 5 a.m. before work starts.
I don't know if you'll be able to stop it. You might have to think about when you start and stop these because they're addicting. It gets good. It gets good.
Boss, call me Stevie. Are you gonna come into work? Dude, can I just finish Kung Fu Panda Part 2?
See, I gotta know what happens between.
Dude, I'll be like 10 man. It's Kung Fu Panda's on.
Yeah, I think this is one of Jack Black's possibly top 3 performance all time.
Yeah,
top 2 performance animated. I think the Kung Fu Panda series is absolutely phenomenal. But I really enjoyed what he did with the character. Like you said, right? You can tell all of these people had ties. All these people had the passion for the roles. It's like asking one of us to play one of our favorite football players on the field, and then it's like somebody asking you to be Tom Brady, right? Even if it's just be
that
on
would
the
do
field
so
under
good in
the
that
helmet.
role.
Yeah, that would be like, that would be that kind of scenario. So I think I really enjoyed him. And you had mentioned to me that Chris Pratt's not the reason you make a second Mario movie. It's really all the supporting cast. I think he was a big part of it, but I think you're right. Like I think the supporting cast really brings the crowd and the attention to the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing against Chris Pratt in the role. It's just this movie's not as great as it is if the supporting cast isn't excellent.
Right.
You couldn't phone that in.
Yeah, you could really mess up this movie, as we've seen in the past. Right, you can really mess up this movie, and I mean, Fantastic Four still doesn't have it right, for all intents and purposes. Like, people still mess up those movies.
I'm actually we're gonna go off topic while we're here on Blue Collar Cantina. I saw something today about Fantastic Four, since you just mentioned this, and apparently Adam Driver is going to be playing Reed Richards.
Is that was official?
I know it's not officially official, but it was like a pretty good source that said it. They might not be fucking up Fantastic Four if they have Adam Driver as Reed Richards.
Thank goodness.
That is a pretty good casting right there to me. I have another casting that I'm not happy about that we'll talk about after we finish this. But yeah, another guy to mention who really did a great job. Charlie Day as Luigi.
Absolutely.
I absolutely, I'm a sucker for anything Charlie Day, to be honest with you, because of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It just gets me every fucking time. That guy, he's just too funny. But I thought he was, he just brought his voice, his whole rambling aspect just really fit the Luigi character. To the story, I thought it was a good use of what do we call it? The tubes, the pipes that they they
Yeah,
travel
the
through.
tunnels. Yeah, the tunnels. They
Yeah,
were great.
using the tunnels as being in the sewers underneath Brooklyn and him trying to be a plumber and fixing those like that. I thought that was a great way to drop him into these kingdoms and all that. To do my rating of the movie, I got to go 10 out of 10 just because I can't come up with any legitimate complaints with the movie. I think it hit every note it had to hit and probably then some. Because I did not expect such a good karting scene. And the Donkey Kong scene I was kind of worried about. That was awesome. The Donkey Kong scene fucking just so much fun.
Yeah, I'm a 9 out of 10 rating wise. I'm gonna give you my knock of a 1 rating. Okay, so I'm a 9 out of 10 because of a few things. One, I don't know how you have Mario without Yoshi. So I am a
Okay.
believer that I know there was before somebody comments, there was a Yoshi cutscene. I got it. Okay, I get it. You included a Yoshi Easter egg at the end of the credits, and you're teasing Yoshi will be in the second movie. Totally understand. I get it. But like you can't throw some dinosaurs running across a wasteland or something. You can't throw eggs in there somewhere in the movie. So he's saying like, I wonder what's in this, and then throw it to the side. Like, give me some Yoshi in this movie because it's such a big part of Mario. Like that's like
It is.
I thought that was one thing. So that knocked off half. The other piece is the lack of interaction between Chris Pratt and Jack Black. I want more Mario Bowser interaction. I really wanted to see more fight cuts, more in between. I mean, show it like all of our lives. We've had Mario's goal of defeating Bowser in all of this, all the games, all the levels, all the stars. I never felt like we got that uphill climb for him. It was like he had to prove it to himself that he could believe in himself and be great, but never
Yeah.
like I've got to beat that guy. So like that's a big miss for me. At least give me a couple of like I got to interact and I lost trying to get Luigi once. I lost, like I lost over and over and over again, tried different levels and lost. Like it just didn't feel very
I can see that. Yeah.
yeah.
That would
I
make
just
it like a game too.
right, which is what I tried to go for in a couple of those scenes, right? Was showing the levels and showing what they do. And
Yeah.
so I would have liked that uphill battle more. And then you can have a continuance of it because obviously you don't beat it in one go. So like it's like part 2 is my second chance at beating Bowser, And it just wasn't there for me.
All right. I can respect that one. So for a nostalgia rating, you have to think on that a little more. I'm gonna say a 7 or 8 out of 10. Like I said, I mean there was no Yoshi, which obviously knocks it down on the nostalgia rating. But just from the moment it starts and they have the plumbing commercial, I mean I was just transported back
Right.
30 years. And I mean that weekend there was the weekend that the Power Rangers reunion movie came out on Netflix. So I watched that Friday night and then went to see this Saturday night. I basically just spent my weekend in 1995.
Which, if you haven't seen the Power Rangers reunion movie, it is both sad and amazing. And
It's awesome. Yes, and it is sad. It is rest in peace.
Yep.
Now we've already talked about this, but again, like I said, this is their first go. We already knew it. We already knew they were planning on making more Mario movies. They've already made $1 billion in their first go. There is zero chance that they are not greenlighting more Mario movies. More movies with the Nintendo movies. They are absolutely going all in now. You've already made $1 billion in one shot.
Zero chance, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say they introduced the rest of the Mario characters that were missed. So the Yoshis, the Wario's, the everybody you're missing. All right. And you're going to introduce the giant white glove hand in the cutscene. He's going to steal Princess Peach, and that's going to be the uphill battle at the end of Super Mario 2.
I like that theory a lot. That's fun. Now we had this. Everyone's got to be thinking the same as anyone watching this thing the same as we are. They have to be building towards a Smash Brothers movie.
Have to.
There has to.
Have to. Yeah.
I need it. I need it now.
You're the original. I'm going to pull it up, but you're talking about the original Super Smash Brothers characters, right? Like if we talk about what we're building up to, and we went through this before, so I'm just going to bring up the names, right? So it's Master Hand. That's the name I was thinking about. So Master Hand has to be introduced in the second Mario. But I think until that second Mario movie comes out, we've already had leaks that there's a Star Fox movie coming. So
I did not know. I did not hear that leak that was
so
confirmed.
You're barely hearing it today. Like, yes, there is a Star Fox movie being created already. They already have the storyboard for it. It's just getting the approval. So that is already in the works.
Oh my God.
That really confirmed the conspiracy for me, is that Star Fox is being created. We've been introduced to Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong. We've already got Pikachu and Jigglypuff from the Pokemon movie. Yoshi comes in Mario 2. There's only 12 you need. That's 6 already. I'm sorry, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's 6 already. If Star Fox comes out, that's 7. And now you've got 7 out of 12 confirmed. Are you telling me right now they won't make a Zelda in the next 4 years? Absolutely making a Zelda.
If they make if they make a Star Fox, they're gonna make a Zelda, because I'm not gonna look at sales and overall. Zelda's a bigger name than Star Fox. More people in this current generation know Zelda than they do Star Fox.
Agree.
We know Star Fox. I think people 5 years younger than me are like, what the fuck are you talking about, a Fox in the Stars?
You got to play it. Like, you can go get an N64 and play it if you don't know what we're talking about. But
this is one of the things. I felt walking out of Mario Brothers, I wanted to go buy an N64. I wanted to go pick, and now we're talking about Star Fox. I need to find a fucking N64, or I need to go buy a classic. I need to play these games again.
I have one hooked up to a TV right now. It's just sitting there. I could actually just play it if I wanted to. And that's what it makes you do, though, right? Like, that's what it makes you do. And so, like, if you think of like the Samus and Captain Falcon, Ness and Kirby's a big one too. They should all absolutely make a Kirby movie.
Kirby, I think, will be the last thing they make before Super Smash Brothers.
You don't need to have all 12, right? You can do a Super Smash Brothers movie with like 8, have them lose, and go after Master Hand with the rest after you make additional. It could be very MCU-ish. It can be.
Yeah.
You can make a story.
Well, I also think we might get a full-on Mario Kart movie before we see a Smash Brothers movie.
That is true, because they've already teased it. It tested well, and it looks like they have the logistics for it done. Might be a lot more Mario Kart when we introduce Yoshi and a couple other characters, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. Daisy probably will get introduced, and
oh my God,
you know, it's gonna be a whole thing. Like, this Mario world that's now gonna get formed is gonna be probably the next big thing, and this studio hit right on it.
Absolutely, they did. And again, this is me. For those of you who couldn't have heard what me and Ernest were saying before we went live, the studio did Despicable Me, Minions, Sing, Secret Life of Pets, and now Super Mario Brothers. They are on. It's just absolute fucking heater at the box office.
And I'm a huge Sing fan. So out of all those, I'm actually a huge Sing fan. So, like, the fact that they made that one is just nuts. I
haven't seen Sing. I have not seen the Despicable Me movies. I've seen clips of the Minions. The Minions look pretty fucking funny to me. Yeah, I don't have kids. Secret Life of Pets. I have seen. Secret Life of Pets is hilarious.
It's actually the only one I haven't seen. So
Okay, that's
yeah,
okay. So
I've seen the first 20 minutes, but like I said, if Lily doesn't last through it, I don't watch, and she didn't last through that one. That one didn't make it.
oh, okay, all right. Um, now that's I guess that's pretty much all we have on the Super Mario Brothers movie. We do have, as I sent to you yesterday, we do have what looks like to be an official casting for another video game movie. It appears that Carl Urban is in final talks to play Johnny Cage in the next Mortal Kombat movie. I'm going to start with the Mortal Kombat movie from a couple of years ago. I am an absolutely huge fan of. Gave me everything that the 90s movies were missing. Big Mario fan, big Mortal Kombat fan. That was what, like, when you grow up in video games, it was like Halo and Mortal Kombat took me after Mario did.
Right.
So I loved the last one. I do not like this casting. And I love Carl Urban. I know he's a good actor, he's a talented actor. I don't think he fits anything about the Johnny Cage character whatsoever to me. I don't know if you feel the same way, not Ernest, but hey,
So
Johnny Cage is.
Yeah, for me, I've always pictured Johnny Cage differently. So the Carl Urban casting was confusing for me. And I'm hoping maybe they explain it in the beginning of the movie, or they start explaining it in interviews to help us understand why they go that direction with Johnny Cage. And I'm not like a massive Mortal Kombat expert or love Mortal Kombat, but I am a huge fan of the movies, love the video game, and I just don't know. I'm not deep into the comics history of Mortal Kombat. That's not my thing. But when I saw the headline, I deep dove into the character and the background, and without even knowing you were going to bring it up today. And I'm not a fan either. Like, I don't think it fits. So maybe going for an older version of maybe a new cast of
they have
Kombat?
to be going a different direction than is traditional with Johnny Cage. Because the character of Johnny Cage is a sarcastic, kind of playful, but like he's your pretty boy actor.
It's Ryan Reynolds.
It's Ryan Reynolds. It's Ryan. Chris Evans would be. Yeah, I could see Chris Evans would be a good role. And then the other thing is that the fighting style. It's. I know there's stunt doubles. I know there's all that. But Johnny Cage's whole intro when he comes out with the three kicks, like up in the air, I can't picture Carl Urban doing that.
Mm-mm.
But I can picture actual martial artist Scott Adkins doing it.
Like, could it be that maybe this was a backup? Like, hear me out. Could it be that the Renner issue, his accident, caused him to have to go a different direction?
That's
because I kind of heard that Jeremy Renner was the guy for this role.
I talked to someone the other day where Jeremy Renner would be a sneaky good guy for the role.
And then the accident happens and he's going to be out, and so he can't do film. They got to keep it on the timeline. So, okay, I guess we'll go Carl Urban and maybe change it up and feature the other ones. Like, could that be what they do? Maybe.
That's a theory. That's a hell of a theory right there. Yeah. Now, I think the other part of the Carl Urban casting is Johnny Cage that's kind of bugging me. Is that what was staring you right in the face, Carl Urban? Was he was born to play the role of fucking Kano.
So that's very true. Yes. Okay. So I'm glad you're saying it first. So why do you think he'd be a good Kano?
Well, the Kano character, like, literally just sounds like Carl Urban when he talks anyway. It Kano looks and sounds like Carl Urban.
It's true.
He wouldn't even need to act that much.
I agree.
And I don't know. And the other thing to me is that, like, for the look wise, Carl Urban looks too much like a badass.
Yeah.
To be Johnny Cage to me, because like in the games they describe Cage as a movie fighter. They don't take him for real because he fights on screen. They don't. He has to go out and back it up. I take a look at Carl Urban. I'm like, that dude could fucking kill me.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually think a good casting for Kano might be the guy from Suicide Squad, the boomerang guy.
That wouldn't have been bad.
Yeah.
Now mine was the guy they did use as Kano. Didn't do bad in the role at all.
Agree.
What I'll take as a positive from this development, as much as I'm very, very skeptical of Kyle Urban as Johnny Cage, I hadn't heard anything real about the Mortal Kombat sequel probably since the last movie came out. And if they're in the last talks to cast Johnny Cage, then they're moving along. They're gonna get rolling. We are getting more Mortal Kombat movies, and I'm hyped about that because I absolutely loved the last one.
Yeah, I it was a well kept secret because I hadn't heard anything about Mortal Kombat. Well, you know
James
what?
Gunn Q&A happening on Twitter.
Yeah, it was break some surprise topic. So I'll talk about that right now. But the Mortal Kombat topic hadn't been come up for like a decade because they were talking about doing a real life TV series over it and bringing it back. I think back in like 2015, and then the funding was cut, and it was like, no, we're gonna go a different direction. We're gonna go back to movies, and then it goes quiet again. And it's like, who's going to direct this? Who's gonna produce this? Who are the actors? And they waited for a new generation of actors to come up so they can afford it, I think. And this is the direction they're going. So James Gunn put on there an hour ago, hey, ask me questions, yes and no only, anything goes. And I thought there were some really good yes and no questions in here. And so I'm not going to do any, Guardian spoilers for those because that's new. That's too new.
Yeah.
But interesting
I'm going in the
enough,
morning.
One question that came up was, are any of the Guardians actors or actresses going to be in the new DC timeline?
I just see it. Will any of them be in Superman Legacy specifically?
And he says yes. Like, that's exciting. Like, that's a huge thing. That's breaking news.
That is absolutely massive.
There are a lot of big A-list actors on that Guardians of the Galaxy group. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we get some big names in the Superman and DC universe moving now.
Man, I wonder who it could be.
Like
not
my
Pratt.
initial. So no, I don't think Pratt moves because, as well as one of the cutscene credits explains Chris Pratt. So you could probably I'll let you guys see that so I don't ruin it.
3 yet.
What's that?
That's in the morning. I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3 yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's tomorrow. Well, I'm not giving away anything. You just got to stay. There's like 5 end credit scenes, so you need to stay through the entire thing. Yeah, you need to stay through the entire thing. And if you saw it and you missed those, go see it again because it's worth it. I will say this though, and I'm going to do this just for my wife as well. There is a lot, if you haven't seen it yet, for anybody watching, there is a lot of animal cruelty. So if you are not good with animal cruelty, take tissues, be ready to cover your ears and your eyes for a good portion of the movie. There's a lot of it, a lot more than there needs to be, but there is a lot.
Rocket.
So you got just be ready, okay? Because there's a lot of it. But anyways, I think a big one for me is Bautista. I think Bautista ends up going to DCU and maybe a
And I
big.
think I know who he plays.
Who do you think?
Hugo Strange.
I could see it. I could see it. Absolutely.
Hugo Strange.
I think Bautista did say a goodbye to
And
like.
he's getting a little older.
Yeah, yeah. He said goodbye to the MCU. He did a goodbye post, and I think that's like one of those actors that really makes that move. Another one for me is Karen Gillan. I think James Gunn loves her, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, okay. The only thing I'd say with Batista is um he says will appear in Superman Legacy. And Hugo, I don't see Hugo Strange popping up in our first Superman movie.
But I could see it in an end credit scene.
If you were going to tease something about Gotham in an end credit scene, I forget what was next on the slate, but if Brave and the Bold was shortly following Superman Legacy, then you could get me going for
Yeah, I
another
know.
hour or two here. I'm actually pumped for James Gunn's slate at DC.
Me too. Me
I
too.
absolutely loved the fucking slate that he put out.
Now,
I'm-
if you want to know, Steve, why I'm actually really hyped about it is because I'm gonna go down some names that are in Guardians 3. Okay, because these names, some of these may surprise you that are in
Oh
Guardians.
yeah,
All
and
right,
he's being cryptic. He's just saying yes.
Vin Diesel, right? Bradley Cooper, two big names in two different franchises. Fast X is going to be the end of that series.
Yeah.
So you can see Vin's next big thing being a DCU. That'd be amazing. Bradley Cooper, there's another question in the Q&A where he says, would you like to work with Bradley Cooper in the future? And he says yes. So wouldn't be surprised if Bradley Cooper also makes his way over. And then some of these names are big, right? Ving Rhames, still around. Sylvester Stallone, still in this, still around.
Sylvester Stallone is already in the DC.
Oh, okay, perfect. And then,
King.
that's true. And so like you can go down the list of names. There's a lot more, but you can go down the list of names and find those that are in there, and you can be like, wow, I didn't realize that. And you eventually will be
That
like, wow,
is-
I'm kind of hyped. So
Yeah, you just like fucked my brain up for the rest of the night, man. That's
yeah, there's a lot to think about because
could it be Bradley Cooper? Where would he put Bradley Cooper in the team?
I know. Where do you put him? And does Bradley Cooper finally land a villain role? Like, wouldn't that be sick to have Bradley Cooper as the bad guy? Like,
Yeah.
that would be cool.
Or Bradley Cooper could, Christ, he could maybe pull off Bruce Wayne.
Now that would be kind of sick, but I don't know if you replace. I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much because I know it's brand new.
So the Pattinson Batman isn't being touched. That's its own.
Right.
That's being kept separate. There's gonna be another Batman. Bradley Cooper is
he too old?
Bruce Wayne / Batman. Well, they're doing the Brave and the Bold Damian Wayne anyway, so he has a kid.
True.
It's an older Batman. Oh my god, my head is fucked right now. God damn
it. Sorry. I just thought it's, and I haven't even seen the latest on what he's been saying, so that was probably news like 40 minutes ago.
I looked it up, and I gotta find his whole thing. Wow. Yeah, that is. Well, we talked about a lot more than we talked about tonight. Yeah. So I think that's all we have for you, unless we come up with some other nerdy shit that me and Ernest decide we need to talk about.
That is true.
Anyway, Ernest, thank you for coming on, buddy. As most of you should know, Ernest, of course, the host of the Interlab podcast. Ernest, I don't know what your schedule is for that right now.
Yeah, we have a few shows. We're off season right now for the coming of Trey. He should be here any day now. But But May 16th, you'll catch us live. NBA Draft Lottery. We'll be live in the Watch Rockets Fan Cave Watch Party studio. We'll have the producers on with me. We'll be hoping for the number 1 pick overall for those who follow sports. If you don't, then just disregard everything I just said. You can catch my show May 16th, June 22nd, and then fantasy football comes up. If you play that, you'll catch us starting end of July. Back on a regular weekday schedule on Tuesdays at 7:30.
All right, sounds good. And I will let everyone know what the next episode of Blue Collar Cantina will be. It probably be a Guardians of the Galaxy review. I still need to go see Evil Dead Rise. It might have to be a Kung Fu Panda episode.
Yes. I will be on for Guardians and Kung Fu Panda if you do it.
All right. Well, like I said, Guardians I'm seeing tomorrow, so we can probably just say Guardians will be next week's episode.
Sounds good. Before we plug off, Steve, just a PSA. I just want to do a shout out and prayers out to everybody in Allen, Texas for today's mass shooting. Yeah, I wish everybody's okay over there.
Yep. Prayers to everyone over there in Texas. I don't know how close you are to Allen.
Not very.
I saw Texas at first, and then I saw Allen. I was like, okay, I know it's not San Antonio.
Yeah, we only have one of our crew that's at BCMG who's close to it, but this weekend she's down in the valley. So luckily, Steph's not even close to it this weekend either. So, we are good.
All right, that's good.
We're whole.
Anyway, yeah, of course, I am the general, and catch us next week whenever me and Ernest do our episode. Of course, we don't even know when we do our own episodes.
Next Saturday, not Mother's Day, so it's gotta be Saturday.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely won't be Sunday.